Hi, this is a practice for my TED Talk presentation. If you don't like to read, you haven't found the right book. J.K. Rowling. Books are a word that takes you out of reality. If someone had asked me 2 years ago, my answer to the question, do you like to read, would have been a complete no. I didn't like to read, it wasn't something I would do when I was young. I always wanted to be that type of person who reads a lot. I found them very interesting, but I just couldn't make it a habit. After many years of trying and trying, I can proudly say that reading is the biggest habit and influence I have had in my life. Make yourself comfortable, and I will tell you my experience. What is a habit? A positive or negative action that you constantly do sometimes on the day, like drinking water, waking up at 6 a.m., working out in the morning, playing the guitar, studying in the afternoon, and of course, reading. How to create a reading habit. If you pay attention, at the beginning I read a quote from J.K. Rowling, which is completely true. If you don't like to read, it's because you haven't found the right book. Reading can be boring for some, but if you find the book that interests you, that changes completely. My advice, based on my experience, is to look for a book that of your interest. If you like romance, look for a related cliche and read about it. It is very difficult to force a habit. It is important to find a book that relates to your life in some way. Find a way to connect with the book. With that being said, I will pass to the next part. What is literature? Literature is the most amazing and beautiful way to create art, in a written or spoken way, of course. It is using our words so that our feelings and experiences come to life according to the imagination of the reader. Literature has existed for many years. It has always been part of the culture of many countries and regions, and it was in charge of telling the history of the people in such an extraordinary and unique way. Korean literature is a bit different. Since I'm a teenager living in this time who has read many, and when I say many, I mean too many books, I can confirm that these books contain many and very detailed information about our society and generation. In order to understand that young generation that in the future will make up the majority of the society, I think it's important to read these books. We are a generation that seeks to have an open mind. We are constantly changing, so there are many new things that we have to understand and respect. Many of the books I have read talk about very important issues for society today. They talk about mental health, relationships, feminism, the LGBT community, equality. What I mean is, these books help me to know a lot about these subjects. This brings me to my next topic. How do books help to create more open minds? As I mentioned before, books tend to create stories around some social problems. It can be family problems, insecurities, mental health, toxic relationships, diversity, and more. I think it's important to prepare ourselves for the society in which we live. Without a doubt, it will be a more liberal and open-minded society on many issues. It is a way to communicate that there are things that are not normal or should not happen, such as living in a toxic environment, discrimination, and any type of violence. It is a roundabout way of teaching us about the issues that get a lot of attention today. And to finish, I would like to tell you a little bit more about my experiences and how much the habit of reading helped me. My journey with reading books began at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, and we realized that around the time the pandemic that we are experiencing today began. When the virus started, I was just 14 years old, and I'm 17. Yeah, I lost about 2.5 years of what I call my normal life. I lost many experiences. I lost physical contact with my friends. I lost many friends. But it also gave me some time to reflect. I started reading as a habit at the beginning of 2021. I saw a video on Instagram about a book that will soon be a movie, and it really caught my attention. Just before moving forward, it is worth mentioning that there are many apps where you can find and read books apart from physical books. So there are many options, since sometimes books are a little bit expensive. You can find a copy online. Just maybe try to do it in a little way. The point is that I met up with those books again. I started following users on social media who created content related to books. Little by little, books incredibly entered my life. I don't know how correct to say that books saved me. The pandemic started, my life changed completely, and I felt depressed and unmotivated about everything. So reading books made my life a little happier. It was the moment of the day when I could just forget about the pandemic and my problems, and I could just focus on someone else's life. I do not believe in the saying of the knowledge that books have, but everything I have read, I can tell you I am prepared for life. There's a local joke among readers that goes, readers know the theoretical side of life and are ready for the practical side. And yes, the knowledge you acquire from books is wonderful, and it helps you a lot. You learn many interesting things about life. Books also help me to take a moment and reflect on my own problems. There's this quote by George Martin that says, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads only lives one." We know that books are a free invitation to a whole new world full of expectation, full of new feelings, full of new problems, full of relationship, and full of knowledge. If you know how to take advantage of all the knowledge you will get by just reading one book, you will know how to use it. Thank you.